Hey, I'm CJ.
And I'm Aaron.
And we're the Masters of Boarddom, where nothing is off the table, except perhaps for cultural insensitivity.
Istanbul is a great game, but it's important to remember that Turkish people are just like us, which is why this paragraph doesn't include a single joke.
That said, let's talk about how you and your friends will be running all over town, dropping assistants off, picking them up everywhere to get and sell goods for cash and gems as we review Istanbul.
Istanbul is a wonderful game, a race against your friends as you try to claim that all-important 5th ruby. Perhaps one of the best things about it is the fact that it's incredibly replayable, as you can build the city of Istanbul however you like every time you play.
That's because instead of a board, the game plays out on these 16 large cardboard tiles, each of which provide a different action players can take. And every game, you can lay these tiles out in recommended preset patterns, or you can lay them out randomly with only a couple of requirements.
Unfortunately, you can't get anything done by yourself. You're a bit like Donald Trump, if he was any good at business. So you pile on top of your assistants, and they carry you, like a cheerleader pyramid, to your next location, which is either 1 or 2 spaces away. And then, to use that location, you either have to drop off an assistant or pick one up. But I hope you don't run into another merchant there. If there's someone already on the space you're trying to use, then you'll have to pay 2 lira to convince them to politely step aside.
So, you drop your dudes off all over town, collecting goodies and trying to figure out what to do with all the stuff you've picked up. But guess what? You're all out of dudes. And with no one else to carry you, you're as helpless as a newborn baby or Donald Trump. Is this a staggering indictment of capitalism or just a fantastic game mechanic?
So your choices are to either go back to a space you recently visited to pick up a worker, or make your way to the fountain to call all of your workers back, which would be great if it didn't feel just a little bit like wasting a turn.
So, in your head, you're planning several moves ahead, trying to find the perfect engine of moves that allows you to pick up and sell or trade goods while making some money on the side, all while rarely, if ever, stopping at the fountain. And this puzzle is fantastic.
Let's talk about these tiles and what they all do. And before you go whinging, I gotta memorize 16 different tiles and abilities to play this game? No, it's actually much simpler than that, but I can see why you'd be concerned. Let's see if we can sell you on them.
Hey, I'm Crazy Eddie, and first there's these 3 warehouses to stop at. You can stop at any one of these and fill up any type of good on your cart for free. How can I give you all these pineapples for free? It's right there in my name. I'm crazy.
Hey there, I'm Loony Dave, and once you've got some goods, you can sell them at the small and large markets. The large market pays out more, but typically requires more hard-to-find jewelry. Yeehaw! I'm Loony Dave!
Do y'all need some piety? Well, Bonkers Bob here to tell you that you can make a donation at your local small mosque or great mosque, and they'll give you one of 4 new abilities. Change any die to a roll 4. Call an assistant back for 2 lira. Buy one good at the warehouse for 2 lira, or you can get your 5th and final assistant. And if you get both abilities at either mosque, you'll get yourself a ruby. Hot damn, you'd be bonkers not to get this deal. But take note, the tiles cost more goods with every purchase.
Lunatic Ted here to tell you about the 2 best places to get rubies. The gemstone dealer will straight up trade a ruby for cash, but the price goes up after every sale. And the Sultan's Palace he'll trade a ruby for a set of goods. But it costs more goods after every trade. And I may be a lunatic, but I understand supply and demand.
Hey, I'm Suspiciously Shady Steve. Come here, kid. Look at this. You want to make some real money? You gotta gamble. The Tea House lets you get a shot at gambling for some free lira. But if you overshoot, you'll be walking with chump change. I got more. The Black Market gives you free good and a chance to get some hard-to-find gems if the dice play nice. Finally, I know a guy down at the police station who will spring your cousin from jail and send him anywhere you want to get things done. But you can't use him again until he gets arrested. Apparently gets into the sauce.
Slightly unstable Rick here. Come on down to the Wainwright if you want to carry more goods. Just 7 lira and he'll build a handy extension onto your cart. And more goods means more money. Or maybe more rubies? There's also the post office, where people like me belong. You can get some random stuff by stopping here. Though I don't understand why the goods keep changing. And why the hell does the price of stamps keep going up? Just deliver my damn packages, I'll kill you all!
Oh, hi there. I'm level-headed Larry. You know, you can go to the caravansary to get 2 bonus cards, even ones people threw away if you want them, and then throw away one of your bonus cards for someone else to take. It's only fair. These bonus cards are like cheat codes anyway. Let you break the normal rules of the game, like moving 4 spaces instead of 2 if you're in a rush, or using the same space twice. Really takes the stress out of the rat race, you know? Or, finally, there's my favorite spot, the fountain. The fountain is where you get all of your assistants to meet up with you, and you can all partake in the peace and serenity of the waters before you head back to the whirlwind business.
The last thing you need to know about gameplay is these guys. The Smuggler and the Governor can give you a good or a bonus card respectively. But if you want to keep it, it will cost you a good or a bonus card respectively. Or you can just pay 2 lira to keep everything. And then you'll roll the dice to see where these wild and crazy guys go next. You can also choose not to take anything from them, but they'll still have to be moved somewhere. And we mentioned the police station and your drunk louse of a cousin. If you run into anyone else's drunk louse of a cousin, you can send them back to the police station for an easy 3 lira or a free bonus card. But bear in mind, that means they'll get to use them again.
If you've ever been Black Friday shopping, Istanbul is the board game equivalent of that. Fun to observe from afar, but you might just lose some fingers if you actually play. The more players involved, the more likely you'll be paying extra lira to do what you want. Otherwise, you'll have to adapt your strategy and hope that it doesn't put you way behind. Nothing is worse than running out of assistance because you had to change your route, and now the fountain is 3 spaces away. The moss tiles are invaluable for the extra abilities. They can drastically change the outcome of a turn. But, like everything, their usefulness is entirely dependent on the layout of your board.
So the game has you planning out your moves, trying to find the most efficient path to those 5 rubies as you can possibly plot. And it is not easy. The other merchants will get in your way. Running out of assistance will get in your way. How the locations are spaced will get in your way. And yet it is electrifying to plan your moves and make that plan come to fruition. Playing that bonus card at just the perfect time to get 2 rubies in a row is so satisfying, but it is just as horrifying to see those plans fall apart because you are short by just 1 lira.
I have a bit of a problem. Everything in this game is covered in hieroglyphics, and if you're terrible at Pictionary like me, you'll find yourself wondering what every bonus card means. Thankfully, the designers included this handy cheat sheet that tells you exactly how your turn works, how to use the Smuggler and the Governor, and what every bonus card does. It does not include the moss tiles, however, and that's irritating. As for the rest of the game materials, you and your assistants and whatnot are all represented by these simple colored wooden shapes. They're a bit crude, but they're exactly as complicated as they need to be. The rubies, on the other hand, are absolutely delightful. They're just simple, translucent plastic scraps, but that doesn't minimize the impact of the feeling of taking one and putting it on your cart.
The carts and the locations are made up out of a thick, sturdy cardboard, and you could probably bludgeon a man to death with a block of these. The coins are, well, thinner and disappointing. I'd really like these to be metal. They're just round bits of meh cardboard. And the dice are just plain old white dice, as exciting as standing in line at the post office.
I heard that! I'll kill you!
So what's the word?
The word is hustle. Much like the Grand Bazaar of Istanbul that this game is clearly based on, it is hustle all day long. Istanbul is deliciously complex. No matter how many times we've played it, because the factors involved in your decisions are numerous, from the layout of the board to the moves your opponents make, it requires flexible decision making to out-hustle your opponent's maneuvers. It's simple to set up, and it only takes about 45 minutes to play. Turns are pretty quick, and I don't often find myself running away with armloads of rubies at the end, but I always enjoy banging my card into errands.
I do win this game more often than not, and I have to assume that that's because it's in my nature to be lazy. So I'm very accustomed to finding the most efficient, lowest effort method of getting what I want, and that's an invaluable skill in a race like this. If your brain can calculate the right set of moves, or perhaps more importantly, which moves are wastes of time once you near the end, you could find yourself grasping that 5th ruby just one turn ahead of your rivals. It's an incredibly dynamic puzzle every time I've played it. I love this game.
And that's the game. I'm CJ.
And I'm Aaron.
Smash that like and that bell. That's what we're supposed to say now, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, you know what? Get a hammer out and just smash that thing.
Whoa. We do not condone the destruction of your computer equipment. Just gently click it, okay? No need to smash.
I was gonna smash. I wanted to smash.
I know, sweetie. We're all disappointed.
Hey, want to see me do a magic trick? Kazam! I just made a video appear. You can click on it. Kazam! Oh, look, there's another one. Click on that one too. It's magic.